Figured I'd go ahead and get us started since we are a minute after the 8:30 EST mark. We'll go ahead and have just a pretty regular day today. I think we're going to talk about health. That's one thing that a lot of traders don't talk about properly. A little bit of health, a little nutrition. We can always look at the charts too. Now, first of all, I'm not a doctor. Neither V nor myself are licensed. Actually, V might be a nutritionist. I know he's got a degree in clinical nutrition. I personally don't. And I don't know if either of us is licensed. So, we're not dispensing medical advice at all or any kind of advice that requires a license. Okay, we're just talking about what we do ourselves, and you all can do your research. And that goes with trading as well, or anything we say. Especially with trading, understand that trading is risky, so consult your licensed investment advisor before trading, and we don't give investment advice. Okay, so we got Robert. Good morning, Robert. And Robert is in the private group saying hello to us. Let me go ahead and take a look here. I'm gonna grab the YouTube link really quick, so give us just a moment, and I will spread that link around, see if we want some people over, our friends over at the Rogue Discord to join us. And also, if you do have chart questions, even though I think we want to cover health topics today, let's make sure you ask those chart questions. We can take a look at them. Some pretty interesting movement in the charts overnight, especially with the JPY gold, pretty strong movement. And I don't know if it was just chart related. A lot of these price movements happen not because of any news or anything in particular. It's just that the critical mass was met, if you will. Price went in one direction for long enough, and it went ahead and started the other way, and it ignited buying or selling. That just happens. So let me see here. Type in that link. Okay, so all right, let's see what's going on here. Okay, I'm talking to some of the people in our private chat about backtesting. So if you're new to trading, if you're new to all these concepts, first of all, you can come take a look at our website. Here is our QR code and website on the screen. Go ahead and zap that, take you over to our website, tell you what we do and how to find us. We do create traders. We take people who've never traded and help them become traders. And we also take experienced traders and help them develop trading algorithms, which is just a method of trading. It's what we do. Basically, we don't dispense investment advice. We do have gorillas hopping onto the show, though. What's up, V?
Hello, my friend. How are you? Good morning to the audience. Welcome to Algo Factory LLC.
And I thought we would talk about some health topics today. V, you have a clinical nutrition degree, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Now, did you become like a licensed nutritionist or anything like that, or is that just your, is that where you went to school and then you diverted into finance?
Yeah, I did I have a degree in clinical nutrition from Montclair State, which later merged with Rutgers, which is right now one of the worst universities you can go to in terms of, COVID lockdowns and vax mandates. That's a whole other story. But anyway, yeah. But and then I did it predominantly. I was like, I wanted to work in nutrition. I wanted to own my own business in nutrition, and then from there, I was going to go into because a lot of the prerequisites and the classes you would take for nutrition would be similar to what you take in pre-med. So I wanted to get into medicine. That went sideways. Then I met my mentor in 2003, 2004, and he took me under his wings, and here I am today.
Yeah, I was pre-med myself. I was going to be a surgeon, and I was going to be a plastic surgeon, but I was going to be a facial reconstruction surgeon probably maxillofacial.
Being from LA, I thought you'd be like the boob job guy or something.
No, not that guy. No, hey, I got nothing against that. Look, that's a good business.
Either,
if somebody
I'm
wants
not a
to,
fan of silicon, but I'm just saying I respect the game of those who make a killing playing on people's insecurities. It's kind of ridiculous, but anyway, and
yeah, no, I'm
vanity.
good. I have no judgment if you are a plastic surgeon who, like V says, is doing breast implants,
Hey,
whatever,
do
and
your
that's the
thing.
thing, man. Yeah, do your thing. On top of that, it's we're not really into pandering, but I get it, man. Look, when it comes especially to ladies, you're going to be looked at hard. Like women look at men and they look at what we look like, and it's important. If you got a man who's in shape and healthy, it's certainly sending a signal. It's going to make women attracted to you. There's no lie there, but then really look at women's bodies. It's just how we're built. So I get it. If you got something you're insecure about, and you can spend $5 or $10 to really make a huge difference in the quality of man that you think you're going to get, I get it. I am not putting you down. But actually, I was going to do maxillofacial reconstruction, cleft palate specifically. I decided not to go that route. I just didn't want to spend 10 years racking up $300,000 in debt and not making any money until I was like in my mid 30s to 40s. I just didn't want to do that. I think there was an aspect of laziness in there, but there was also an aspect of I wanted to be a businessman. I didn't understand that, being a surgeon was being a businessman, though. That's actually the case. But in another way, I'm kind of happy I didn't go that route because the medical world has really gone in a direction that I don't know that I would have done too well. There's a lot of politics in the medical world, and I'm terrible at like politics, office politics, dealing with that stuff. I'm actually really good at it, but I detest it. I hate politics like that, office politics, dealing with those egos. It's just no. I hate it. So I went ahead and went this route, and I did a lot of stuff. I did sales, whatever. But in the nutrition world, my wife is a licensed nutritionist, so I certainly get to learn things from that world. And I know V, you've got a degree in clinical nutrition, which is a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
So we had some talk in our private group this morning, and it was about it had to do with
colon cleansing.
What's that?
Was it about the benefits of colon cleansing, or
yes, coffee enemas?
Oh my God! Yeah. That's what I went to school to really specialize in, was hot water enemas and hot coffee enemas.
Yeah, actually, one thing I heard about enemas is that the enema of my enema is my friend. No, I learned that the hot water, the salt water, all that stuff, the way I heard it was your intestines have like I think it's a mucus lining. I'm not sure the science of it. Again, I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor, whatever. But when you do those colon cleanses, I heard that your natural intestinal sort of, whatever is washed away, and you can actually do damage with those things. So, I heard that.
That's why you have to have a coffee enema, because it's the best way to get caffeinated. Forget, waking up in the morning, getting on the drive-thru at Starbucks. When you could have, and I'm inventing right now, an in-home hot coffee enema machine that before you leave the door.
Good God, man.
Before you step out the door, you have a hot, percolating cup of coffee waiting for you. And all you got to do is drop your shorts, pop a squat on it, into the specified injector, which coincidentally looks like a dildo. And it
Jesus
shoots
Christ,
it directly.
Dude. All right. Enough.
You are caffeinated for hours, my friend. You'll never have to worry about ever losing the caffeine buzz. You're buzzed all day.
I'm gonna lose my lunch right now. So
God, we're really promoting Algo Factory.
Yeah, Algo Factory, man. Come learn how to burn your ass. God, man.
Oh, God.
Back to reality here. The reason the whole health topic even came up had to do with some people back testing. We had let me see who it was in the chat here. Some beasts, some real hard workers in there. Trev in particular did 100 hours of back testing in 10 days. So for people who are new to the channel, back testing is where you use our charting software, not our charting software. You use whatever charting software you choose to use. We like TradingView, it's what we use. And you go back through time and you look at historical charts. And as you look at the historical charts, you do basically simulated trades based on your algorithm that you're building, and then you use that data to go ahead and put together, hypothetical numbers like, oh, my trade is going to be, say 68% hit rate with a risk to reward ratio of 2-to-1. And what that all means is that, you're going to win 68% of your trades. And if you have a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, that means you're also making twice as much money as you're risking. So that means if you're say like, if you lose a trade, right, you're going to lose $100, but you're going to win 200. So that means that you're twice as much money if you win, right? So there's just some numbers that you do, and I just made those numbers up right now off the top of my head. But you create an algorithm, and then as you test it, you're going to have a certain idea of how that's going to do in the real world. And then once you're done back testing, then you go ahead and forward test it, which means that you can use a demo account that doesn't have any money on it, or you can put a very small amount of money into an account and you live trade. You trade as if it were, going right now. That's basically the tools we use to determine how our algorithm might do in the real world. And backtesting is a mind-numbing experience, right? You're in front of the screen, you're going back, again, 10 days, 100 hours. We got Trev. Trev also is the individual who he programmed his own indicator, which he and I are in the background. Excuse me, here we're in the background going over this. We're kind of see if we can maybe manipulate or change or keep the same settings on, but apply his indicator to trading methods and see if we can take this kind of new invented indicator that nobody else has and find a way to make lots of money with it, which is pretty awesome. Pretty freaking amazing. Trev taught himself how to code within a short period of time, but that got started because who was it? I think it was Brad King, who was it who did this? Hold on a minute. I got to find this. Just a few days off it. Okay. Was it Brad? Okay. So yeah, Brad King said, he thanked Trev, by the way, because Trev was talking about his backtesting and how to do it and how he does it with a couple of tricks of the trade to make it a lot easier to backtest, as far as putting your information onto an Excel sheet, so on and so forth. And Brad, who is kind of brand new at all this, got about 10 trades done. It kind of cooked him, and that's understandable to go back and stare at the screen, and do 10 trades in a row without a break. That, depending on how complex your algorithm is, that could take a fair amount of time. You get good at it, and you can actually get it done a lot more quickly, and that's just takes time and experience. But long story short, we did want, it got me to thinking, like, back in my, and I'm still back testing. I do it all the time. Jeez. I like pain, right? So it's, that's a joke. I don't like pain. But as far as back testing is concerned, I understand what the value is. Give me about 2 seconds here. I gotta undo my blinds so I can see here. I like to get as much sun in the room as I can. And it got me to thinking about how important, our health is. Because if you sit in front of the machine for 10 hours without getting up, without moving around, without proper nutrition, without getting your eyes away from the screen, some people recommend, not to look at the screen for more than 5 minutes. I don't know what the real recommend. I don't know what, the medical proven thing is. I try to look away from the screen and get up and walk around at least a few times an hour. And every day, excuse me, I actually take my son outside around, say, when these shows are over. If the market is slow enough, if I'm not needing to be in front of the computer for more than say 15, 20 minutes, I take my son out the front yard, and then we take our shoes off and our shirts off, and we get a little morning sun on us. We get our bare feet on the ground, and we make sure we get a little outside fresh air. And the wife and I, who she's about to pop, she's got about 2 weeks left in her pregnancy till her due date. We go for walks. We take the baby out. We'll walk around for a good 45 minutes to an hour, just to get outside and stuff like that. Because if you're gonna be a trader, you sit in front of the screen for many, many hours a day, and that's a sedentary lifestyle, and that will kill you, if you ask me. And I'm not a doctor, but I think most people I know who are sedentary, their quality of life is not that great, and their lifespan, from what I've seen, in my anecdotal look is cut pretty short. What do you think, V? If you were to put a number on, like, a good amount of time to kind of, if you're going to sit in front of a screen all day, how often do you think you should get up, and how often and how much exercise do you think you should get to offset that sedentary lifestyle, that being around all that electricity, EMF, stuff like that? What do you think? As someone with a clinical nutrition degree and an understanding of
you
physiology.
should get the hell. You should step away from your desk at least an hour a day minimum, and you should be getting at least 4 hours of exercise minimum per week. That's what I recommend. At least 4 hours of exercise. I'm talking about you go to the gym, you work out, or you go for a run, you go ride a bike, you go for a walk, whatever. Just get out, get the fresh air. It's important for you. You can't be stuck to a screen all day, surrounded by this stuff 24/7. You're not going to live long. You're going to develop next year. You wake up one day, you're going to have a tumor looking like a cauliflower growing out of the side of your head.
Oh, sounds terrible.
You don't want to do that.
Cauliflower. Yeah. It's like, but I'm a UFC fighter and it's on my ear. That's different, man. Gosh, man, I could have gone that route, dude. I did martial arts. I did it for 6 days a week. I was at it, easily 3 hours a night. I was into it. I got put into the instructor program. I loved grappling and just kung fu and all this kind of, dude. I was getting hardcore into it.
I was a Tai Chi instructor at Central Park.
Hey, man, I actually did Tai Chi as a martial art. I don't know if you know that.
I also taught the form of Tai Fli. You ever heard of Tai Fli? Why are you laughing?
Because I think it's amazing, and I'm laughing because it's not
Tai
funny.
Fli is when someone is about to attack you, you run away as fast as you can. And I teach people the proper way to run because, okay. You ever seen Steven Seagal run? Have you ever seen that?
I've seen him waddle quickly.
Yeah, that's the modern Steven Seagal. But I'm talking about
he runs like how do I say this delicately? He runs like he prefers men in the wee hours of the night.
I have a video. If you can, we can share screen. This is how I teach people how to run because Sensei Seagal has and this is why are you laughing? This is how I run.
I know the video. I know.
Pull it up, cowboy. How dare you laugh at this? I spent years trying to run like this man. Years. This is how you run. Okay?
All right.
This is how you run.
If you just run. Hold on, stop the video. Stop the video. I'm not sharing this properly. Sorry. Oh yeah, go ahead. You're good.
All right, here we go.
Sorry.
This is how you properly run. Watch the right hand. See how he does the little chicken wing thing, and he is going around and making little circles. That's his propeller. So this is what watch. He has to do the propeller. See, he runs like there you go. He's got to make a little circle. See that? Yeah, like a little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. You see?
Yeah.
He's making little circles with his arms. When you run, you got to do that. Like you're two propellers. You make propeller sounds. And then when you go for a jog, you see that? There you go. Like you're snapping your fingers as you're running. That's it. And there. When you're going uphill,
that's hard to kill.
Yeah, it's hard to kill. Yeah, you got to go even harder. See? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's Sensei Seagal, man. I'm telling you. That's how I learned how to run, folks. And in Tai Fli, we teach people how to do that in Tai Fli.
Steven Seagal, dude. Yeah, that video you sent me a few days ago was pretty funny.
That was priceless.
I was laughing pretty hard at that. It's like, all right. So I'm tempted to take a trade right now, but I'm not going to do it. This doesn't. I was looking at we gotta take a look at the screen here. Let's see. I'm just monitoring gold. It's on a short-term drop, but it's falling into support, and there's just markets kind of took a move overnight, and I'm not sure what it was about. If it was about anything, I got I think it was MavBet. Somebody mentioned overnight how I'm looking through the maybe it was Valentine. Yeah, Valentine mentioned how JPY made a big move, and a lot of markets actually made a not big, but certainly a short-term volatile move overnight. And I don't know if it was about anything. A lot of times markets, I would say the vast majority of the time, markets don't need some reason to move. Generally prices just move. That's just how it is. Like, let me see here. That's good enough. Yeah, I'm gonna wait here for. Let's do this here. I'm gonna add an alert. Anybody watching is getting clues. Anybody watching close enough can have clues on what I'm doing here. All right, just setting an alert for when I think price is actually going to turn around. I think it's coming pretty quickly. Let me see. This is on a 30-minute chart. I could risk a bit of a trade right now. Yeah, I think I will. Let's do this. I took this insane trade on gold yesterday. It was like everything in my being was like, don't take this, but I have a new algo that I'm building and it said to take it. And I took this trade, and against all like gut instinct and everything, it won. And I mean, it was like, it was really something to see this happen. But that's just what happens when your algo is that strong. You have a scenario where, it doesn't look like it's going to go, but the algos tell you it's going to go. And see, 1914 will say. Give me a second. I got to take this trade on my trade station. Oh, let's see, 18. So 7 times 3, we'll take that number. Close enough. Looks like it's already going in my direction. Okay, so I saw this trade coming, and I knew that I wanted to go long. I don't have targets yet. Because I wanted to get into the trade, I have a stop loss set down there, right? So now I'm going to determine my target, and it's going to be based on this short-term, what do you call this? Impulse, okay? So my entry, which I'm already in profit, but my entry was at, and this is on gold, I filled at 1916.90. So we're gonna put 1916.90, and my stop loss, what do I have? 1914. We're gonna have it at an even 1914. Oh, that's profit level. 1914 even. Okay. And what was our entry? We said 1916.90. So entry price 1916.90. Good profit. We don't know yet. We're going to determine that now. All right. So we're going to go through an exercise that's pretty common for our private members to see. And I'm going to go ahead and use a Fibonacci tool, and I'm going to measure out the different Fibonacci levels. So for those who don't know what a Fibonacci is, it's just a group of mathematically significant numbers that was, you could say, discovered by an individual. I believe his name was Fibonacci. You see these numbers occur in nature. They're in their proportions. You'll find it in the joints of your hands. You'll find it in like pine cones, the way that they swirl. It's just a group of numbers, okay? And the trades, I don't know what it's about. I don't know if it's self-fulfilled prophecy. I don't know if it's if it's something in the universe or human behavior, but trades tend to kind of work with those numbers. I just use a fixed range right now to determine where price may go relative to these Fibonacci numbers. And it looks like just above the 618 is a high probability scenario. So I'm choosing a volume node close to 618 right here. And I'm actually going to choose a volume node below the 618 because price gets attracted to volume nodes. And this volume node is just, you can see this faint blue line. Might be hard to see on the screen. Let me zoom in. The fixed range has a value area high. It's an area of values where most of the price action happens. And then there's a high in that right there. That's the blue. And then the low is this blue. The stop loss is below that low. It doesn't always, but it tends to be. So I'm going to choose just below that value area high. And it's below the 618. And it's in at the bottom of a volume node. And price has a decent probability of going there. And that'll be my first target. So I'm going to get rid of everything else. And this will be my trade. It's a small trade because price is actually kind of bearish, but it's at a point where it could easily flip around for a short-term gain. And so our top target is 1921.53. Okay. Right. And then I'll take some profit off here at 1919.70. So let me go ahead and throw that all into my trade station here. 1921.53. Take profit. And then I'm going to set a limit order for half of the position at 1919.70. So sell at let's go limit order. We said 1919.70. And we got the right amount there. Good till close. Send the order. Okay, so we are officially in this trade. I'm going to mark this as take profit 1, and as the trade takes profit on take profit 1, I will go ahead and move my stop up to probably entry. It's a little higher entry than I wanted to take, but when I'm in these shows, sometimes I'm not right on top of the trades like I could be, and it's well within my rules, so I went ahead and took the trade anyway. So it's a bit, the risk reward is not really ideal, but it's okay. Not bad. And it's a risky trade because this is a pretty strong move down. But if you look back at the price action, you'll notice that there's a lot of support right about here. And as price has bounced, because you see price tried to come down right here back in yesterday, say in the middle of the night through the early morning, price tried to break through this area, which is already established back here and sort of back here. So you have a lot of history of price bouncing up off of basically what is the 1913 kind of area. And here is, I can actually map this out a little bit. You got right there, lots of bouncing here, lots of bouncing here, and of course, we have our initial bounce right here. So decent probability based on structure, even inside structure, and of course the algo likes the trade. The algo doesn't like it a whole lot, but like I said, it's enough for me to take the trade and put a minimal entry on it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, well, that's actually the end of our show. So let's, or the end of the public show, the free to the public show. So V, Gorilla, if you could please give us that send off, we will roll over to the private group.
Absolutely. Hey guys, listen, it's not all about talking about enemies and whatnot. It's about trading. It's about building the algorithms that work on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. AlgoFactory.tech. Trade your job, upgrade your life. We're the place to do it. We teach you how to do it, and we're very successful doing it. You're going to get the best technicals, the best micro, and the best macro, the best forecast. Understand not only the trading game in the markets, but the global situation at hand and how it affects the markets. You get to know all of that before anybody else does. Exclusive right here on Algo Factory. Cowboy, let's get into it.
Right as that trade pops up in a profit. Nice.
Bang.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Right in front of you.
Timing couldn't be more perfect, man.
Yep.